Hello, everybody. We are going to kick off our math week by doing a little bit of review about time and then diving into a little bit more of graphs and data, and we're going to expand on how we interpret data on a graph. So let's get started so that we know what we're doing. Remember, yours looks a little bit different than mine, and then I'll try to make sure I can zoom in as far as I can because I know it's a little bit more challenging for you guys to see on your screen. So let's see. Make this a little bit bigger. Okay, reviewing clocks, digital and analog. Remember, digital is what we see most often on a phone or on your iPad. These are what we see most of the time during the day. We do have an analog clock in our classroom as well that we can utilize. So the first number is the hour and the second number the minutes on a digital clock. And when you're looking at an analog clock, the small hand points to the hour, and then the large hand points to the minutes. Also remember when you're counting, when you're telling time on a clock that we're counting by fives. So good reminder here, if the long hand, that minute hand is on the one, it'll be 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15. We go all the way to 0, it says, because there are 60 minutes in an hour. So if we count by fives and we get all the way here, if this hand is all the way up on the top, then that would be o'clock, like 7 o'clock. So again, the small hand is pointing towards the hour and the large hand is pointing to the minutes. Our first review, at 7 o'clock in the morning, Randy gets in the car to leave for the Fall Sports Festival. Show the time on the clock. So first here, we're going to choose 7, because it says 7 o'clock in the morning. And then when it says o'clock, remember that just means 0, 0. Okay, so this says 7 o'clock. And right here, AM means in the morning. So that's a good reminder. Jessica helped us remember that this means at morning. There's a good way to remind yourself of that. There's also a little sunshine on this alarm clock, so that kind of helps. At 9:30 in the morning, Randy arrives at this Fall Sports Festival. Show the time on the clock. So 9:30. This is where the hour goes. We're going to type in 9. And this is where the minutes go, 30, 9:30, and AM means morning. At 7 o'clock in the morning, Randy gets in the car to leave for this Fall Sports Festival. So this is just like the previous page, but it's a little bit different because we have to choose the clock that says the right time, okay? In the last one, we had to type in our digital clock, and now we're going to talk about an analog clock. So, oh, just kidding. This is still digital. 7 o'clock. Which one looks like 7 o'clock? Right here. This just looks like the one we did before.
7 o'clock a.m.
Wow, that's very loud. 9:30. Again, we'll choose the one that says 9:30.
9:30 a.m.
Nice that it's not quite as loud as it was before. At 11 o'clock in the morning, Randy plays basketball. Show the time on the clock. So it says 11 o'clock. Here's our hour. Our hour is 11, and o'clock means 0, 0. They've already got the AM in there for us because that is the morning. 2 o'clock in the afternoon should look like this. 2, oops. And then 0, 0, 2 o'clock. And it says afternoon. So PM, Jessica reminded us that that means past morning. It's a good way to remember. So past morning, PM. It has a little moon on here, but don't think that that always means just evening or nighttime. Remember, if it's after that noon, after 12 o'clock, when around the time when you eat lunch, and it's after noon, then that's going to be PM. I'm going to skip over this one because it's the same. Mary Beth rides the bus to the Fall Sports Festival at 10:30. Choose the clock that shows the time. So this time we are going to choose an analog clock. Which one of these says 10:30? Remember, the shorthand says the minute or the hour, and the longhand says the minutes. So this clock says 10 o'clock. Okay, so this shorthand does point to the 10, but if it's way up here, this means o'clock. So we're going to choose this one, 10:30. And notice when you're using an analog clock,
10:30 a.m.
it doesn't tell you if it's AM or PM. You'll just need to know what time of the day it is. So on these clocks, it doesn't tell us if it's morning or afternoon. We know that it's morning because of what we read up here, but when you're looking at an analog clock, you're not going to be able to tell if it's morning or afternoon. You'll just need to know what time of day it is. Mary Beth arrives at this Fall Sports Festival at 11 a.m. So we are going to choose the one that says 11 o'clock. this one right here. It says 11 o'clock. I have to get in there.
11 o'clock a.m.
I have to get in there just so. Beth watches the soccer game at 1 p.m. So let's find the clock that says 1 o'clock p.m. This clock says 1 o'clock. Let's try this one. This one says what time? 12:30. All right. So this shorthand is the hour hand. It's between 12 and the 1. So it's 12 o'clock. We remember whatever this hand touched last. Okay. So it has not touched the 1. That's why it's not 1:30. So it touched the 12 last. So 12:30. And this one says 5 o'clock. So we're going to choose this one. It's 1 o'clock. Tell me.
1 o'clock p.m.
And then Mary Beth leaves the Fall Sports Festival at 3:30. So let's find the one that says 3:30. We'll go through all of these. This one says 4 o'clock. Remember when that tall hand, that long hand is pointing up to the top? That means o'clock. And then you use the short hand to decide what the hour is. So 4 o'clock. Here's the one we're looking for, 3:30. So it touched the 3 last, okay? So if this line was even longer, we could see that the last number that it touched was 3. It has not touched the 4 yet. So we'll put that in there where it belongs.
3:30 p.m.